One of college basketball's biggest rivalries will resume on Saturday when North Carolina travels to Duke. And to me, this one has got extra cinema because North Carolina has won six in a row. And if they win this one on Saturday, I think they are firmly in the NCAA tournament. So they have a ton at stake. Wake Forest was in a similar situation earlier this week, and it didn't go well. We've talked a lot on this show about how Hubert Davis changing his lineup and going towards a more conventional, big forward lineup as opposed to playing those four guards has really been a spark for the Tar Heels. But I look at this game and I think a key is North Carolina getting off to a solid start by moving Seth Trimble out of the starting lineup, by moving Ian Jackson out of the starting lineup. They may not have as much firepower as they did early in the season, but they cannot allow this crowd to take them out of the game and force them to play from behind like Wake Forest did. What else are you deeming some of the key variables in this one?
Well, there's a couple. Carolina's won 6 games in a row, and the three-point shooting splits have been pretty jarring. They're shooting 46% from three in the last 6 games combined. Their opponents are at 34%. That 12% gap is not sustainable. But for 40 minutes, could it be? Like, that's the type of number that you kind of need for Carolina to stay in this one. They have to make threes. They have to move the basketball. And like you said, the start is important because the last time these two teams played, Carolina trotted out the four-guard lineup. And before Drake Powell could check into the game, who I think is probably their best defender, Cooper Flagg had already – it felt like he had 12 points, 4 assists, and it was 16-2. And so, getting Drake Powell in early, getting Jalen Withers in early, that should help them theoretically match up with them a little bit more. And I'm looking at the bench too. Against Duke, they forced the most isolation possessions of all time. This year defensively, you have to win one-on-one matchups. Ian Jackson and Seth Trimble, when they come off the bench, they got to be ready to score. And if you're just dribbling the basketball without really going anywhere, Duke's defense just feels like a vice grip where they just slowly matriculate and you just don't get any great looks. They have to find a way to make really efficient shots off the bounce, and they also have to move the basketball with pace and try to score in transition because this Duke team, they're creating great shots from three. They're creating great shots at the rim. They can win the math and the shot volume game against Carolina, and if that happens, it's a blowout 2.0.
Couldn't said it better myself. That is the one and only Isaac Trotter giving us his knowledge each and every week here on the 24/7 Sports College Basketball Show. For more of Isaac's work, head on over to 247sports.com. We've got the wall-to-wall team coverage, recruiting rankings, transfer portal updates. That's going to be really important in the coming weeks and months.